Sanjay Jha comes back tonight. Rahul Narvekar of the NCP and Gaurav Bhatia of the Samajwadi Party and taking them on. MJ Akbar of the BJP. Shailesh Gandhi, former CIC and very prominent RTA activist, and Mr. Rajagopalan. Mr. Rajagopalan, let's start with you. You believe what's happening out here. What is happening there in Delhi? Now, everyone seems to be blaming one man called Manmohan Singh. It must be terrible to be Manmohan Singh at this point of time, where even your own party and your ex-cabinet colleagues are dumping everything on you.
Basically, Arnab, as I have been following the 2G very closely, because it is a centric of Tamil Nadu alliance, DMK versus Congress. It goes beyond Manmohan Singh. It ends at 10 Janpath politically. 7 times Rahul Gandhi visited Tamil Nadu. He did not meet Mr. Karunanidhi. And the DMK has been insisting that P. Chidambaram and Dr. Manmohan Singh should be summoned before Public Accounts Committee, Joint Parliamentary Committee, CBI Court headed by Mr. O.P. Saini. They are all gone negative on Dr. Manmohan Singh and they protected P. Chidambaram and Manmohan Singh. Therefore, it is beyond Dr. Manmohan Singh. And it ends up at some other place other than 7 Racecourse Road.
Or is he casting aspersions on the Supreme Court of India that cleared Mr. Chidambaram?
No, question of Sanjay Jha, don't interpret.
No, is that a
Sanjay Jha, don't misinterpret.
No, do you know
why
that Mr. Chidambaram
why did not Chidambaram and
special CBI court
Mr. Manmohan Singh appear before JPC?
Subramanian Swamy
why he did not go to JPC?
Are you commenting on the integrity of the Supreme Court? That's my question.
Don't misinterpret. Don't misinterpret, Sanjay Jha.
I think
Sanjay Jha, don't twist it. It ends with 10 Janpath. Why don't you protect 10 Janpath? Don't protect Supreme Court. You protect 10 Janpath.
You see, 1 second. 1 minute, please, Mr. Rajagopalan. You know the problem with you, Mr. Rajagopalan, at this point of time in the debate, you're not seeing...
Sanjay Jha is misleading, Arnab.
No, he's not misleading. He's leading you up the garden path and you're walking right behind him. Mr. Rajagopalan, my question tonight is, you know...
intentions of walking hand in hand with him off a garden path. Please be generous with me.
The question tonight is this. You see, it's very easy to blame Manmohan Singh, isn't it, MJ Akbar? It's the easiest strategy. I mean, do you think Kamal Nath is going there saying, Manmohan Singh disappointed me. Manmohan Singh made a mistake. It's terrible he made a mistake, but of course I'm talking about this in hindsight. He said that hindsight wisdom came to him 3 months after Manmohan Singh got kicked out of 7 Racecourse Road. It's opportunistic and cruel, if I may say so. Though I may say so not unexpected for the Congress party to behave in this manner with its ex-Prime Minister, MJ Akbar.
Give me a chance to...
I will give you a chance, but here the interpretation...
Yes, Arnab, I think you've been a journalist for the last decade as well. And we all know that Kamal Nath had another option, he mentions too, and that option was to resign or to raise his voice then. But be that as it may, we've also heard very many phrases about Dr. Manmohan Singh. We've heard him as, instead of Prime Minister, he was a puppet minister, he was a proxy minister, he was a parrot minister, any number of names. But who was he proxy for?
Yeah.
That is the real issue.
Absolutely.
He was proxy for 10 Janpath. And the real power, you know that, everyone sitting in your studio knows that, the real power was always exercised by Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and later on by Rahul Gandhi. They are the ones who took the decision, and Dr. Manmohan Singh, for reasons best known to him, obliged them by agreeing to whatever they wanted. And on issues such as coalition politics, it was they who took all the decisions and what to give what to which partner. And I also would like to add, we've just seen the books at this moment by Vinod Rai and so on. Maybe somebody someday will write a book on Augusta helicopters. And then somebody will write a book on Vadra's land deals.
Oh, yes.
On each of these issues, Dr. Manmohan Singh kept quiet, kept his proxy, kept his silence going. So there are many, many questions, and I'm afraid not enough answers to throw Dr. Manmohan Singh to the wolves, alas, is doing justice and injustice.
Well, that does not mean that the country's sympathies should grow for Dr. Manmohan Singh because he was a willing participant.
No,
and in turn for keeping quiet, he remained the Prime Minister of India for 10 years. Isn't that the case, Shailesh Gandhi? For the Congress party which wants to win. There is no sympathy for Manmohan Singh
I think it's fair if I can respond to MJ.
Sir, let Shailesh Gandhi come in. You will respond.
I feel the Prime Minister of India, if the claim is made by people from his party that he is innocent, he doesn't know what he's doing. It is 10 Janpath. I think it's pathetic. I would not expect that from a CEO of a normal small company. The Prime Minister of India taking a position, or others taking a position on his behalf, saying that, what could he do? Poor man. If he was a poor man, he could at least resign.
I agree with you.
Kamal Nath could have at least resigned.
I agree.
I agree
all
with that.
people
I
who are
agree with
together in
that.
corruption, and perhaps when somebody does not get his cut,
I agree with that.
I agree with you. And instead today, 3 months after saying something completely different to the Parliament of India, which means you have lied to the Parliament of India, you've spoken untruths on the floor of the Parliament of India, you have pleaded ignorance on the Parliament of India, and when you're caught red-handed, you say, oh, you know what? Looking back on it in hindsight, we were wrong. Looking back on it in hindsight, the Prime Minister made a mistake. But it explains nothing. Does it explain anything, Rahul Narvekar? Does it explain why the Prime Minister was oblivious to the warnings he received in 2G, CWG and the coal scam from the government and outside? What does it explain?
Well, what comes to my mind...
You were part of the government.
What comes to my mind after listening to all your panelists and your views on this subject, does Mr. Vinod Rai's opinion or his take on this matter stand above the verdict of the Supreme Court, the verdict of the investigating bodies?
What about Kamal Nath?
Number two.
No, what about Kamal Nath?
I'll come to Mr. Kamal Nath.
What about Kamal Nath?
Give me an opportunity to come to Mr. Kamal Nath. One sec. Number two, I don't understand this belated stage at which Mr. Rai, wisdom has dawned upon him to come out with these disclosures. I think he's been most dishonest to the country. If after occupying the post that he did, if he knew about these things.
No, I'm really sorry that you say this.
If he knew about these things,
prove the word dishonesty.
Why did he not act in time?
When you say that.
Why did he not act in time?
Prove that Vinod Rai was dishonest.
My question is very simple.
Prove that Vinod Rai was dishonest.
My question is very simple. You tell me why, if he knew about these things, why did he not act in time?
You tell me
why was he quiet then?
You tell me.
Why was he quiet then?
No, you tell me.
This is nothing.
This is ridiculous.
This is nothing but opportunism.
And I say
this
completely.
This is absolutely nothing but opportunism.
I think it's,
why did he not? If he was so honest,
if that is
and
the
he
case,
felt so deeply about it,
would you answer
why
the
did
question?
he not speak about it?
Well, let me tell you what is opportunistic. What is opportunistic is till today, the Congress party has neither explained nor spoken of why the Prime Minister chose not to step in and assert his authority. Why not? Why to explain why coalition politics overrode probity? You tell me why I should believe today. You tell me why I should believe. I'm sorry, I'll say this upfront today. I'm saying this upfront to you today.
I expect a simple answer from you. My question to you is very simple. I expect a simple answer from you.
Are you asking the question so you have to answer the question?
The post that he was occupying,
he
would have done justice to that had he raised these issues then.
He had raised most of the issues.
What are you talking about? Did the report say this then? I don't think you're aware about the fact.
1 second, please.
I don't think you're aware about the fact.
Hold on.
Most of Vinod Rai's reports.
Vinod Rai raised it in Public Accounts Committee. Whatever Rahul Narvekar says, Mr.
How much
he has done it. CAG has done it.
I'm amazed.
I think everybody except Gaurav Bhatia has come in at this stage of the debate. No, 1 second. You've come in twice.
No, 1 minute. Let me first tell you clearly, Arnab, that Mr. MJ Akbar is a manifestation of that fragile BJP party, which despite having 282 seats in parliament is so obsessed and insecure about the power of the ability of the Congress
Can you get to the point? Can you get to the point, Mr.
Why are they accusing everything on 10 Janpath and the Gandhi family? This is all the BJP can think of. I mean, there is a book by Vinod Rai. That is a one-sided version. Mr. Akbar, please cut out the rhetoric. If you have the
so it's a just a minute.
1 minute, 1 point.
No, I
the
want
Supreme Court. By the way, Mr. Vinod Rai's
batting
book
of the
is
Supreme Court
already on a feet of clay. I'll tell you why. The Supreme Court.
Am I talking about his book?
The Supreme Court has no. We are discussing his book.
No, we're not discussing his book. We're discussing what he spoke to me about.
The Supreme Court has already said that all coal allocations since 1993 are illegal, which means it was a systemic flaw. It didn't have anything to do with specific government.
I now want to get Gaurav Bhatia.
The BJP trying to act sanctimonious.
20 minutes past
has
9.
to be the biggest joke.
20
I think the Bharatiya Janata Party needs to apologize to this country, because if you dig deep in both 2G and coal, the history begins with the NDA. It begins on 2G,
I heard
when
that
the
yesterday.
license fee was changed to revenue
I heard
share.
that yesterday.
And on coal,
and
on coal,
just followed
Mr.
that.
Gandhi, just a
And,
minute.
and along
just a
with coal,
minute. Can
they
you
should also
challenge
talk
the
about
Supreme
iron ore.
Court?
Sanjay,
Are
then
you
why A. Raja
challenging
was
the
arrested?
Supreme Court verdict?
Then why A. Raja was
The Supreme
arrested?
Court has called
Why
Now, come on, now, come on,
is
come
being
on.
tried today?
during the time of the BJP government. Let's not even try and pretend anything against
Mr.
it.
Jha, your consternation surprises me. Your anger amuses me.
Why should
But
it?
what shocks me, is that every single thing you say today
It's true.
is what you said yesterday.
Well,
There's no
let me tell
single
you,
new
truth has
argument
to be
you bring
repeated.
today. Gaurav Bhatia is
Truth
coming
has
to
to
the
be
debate.
repeated until it is
Truth
heard.
has to be repeated. It's like a broken record. Gaurav Bhatia is coming to the debate. Sanjay Jha presents no convincing argument tonight. That is new. Gaurav Bhatia.
Arnab, let's not get stuck in the names of these big personalities, be it the former Prime Minister or the President of the Congress. What here is most important, that there are two issues. One is the criminality part that needs to be investigated, and second is the decision making, whether it was arbitrary and it caused a huge
Why are you
loss
batting
to
for
the
10
national
Janpath?
exchequer.
Why are you batting
And
for 10 Janpath?
I am
What's
not batting.
brewing?
In
You
fact,
begin
I am
by saying let's
something
not
different.
discuss the Congress party, let's
something-
discuss technicalities.
No, Arnav, just because BJP tries to drag in the
No,
Gandhi
you
family,
not-
why are we discussing that?
You interrupted
The BJP
me.
has a political
You
objective.
interrupted me.
The BJP is trying to
Listen
use this
to me
book for the
first.
elections.
Let him.
No, the
Arnav,
BJP is trying
I
to
am
use the book for
saying-
the elections.
You don't say things you can't prove.
I'm not batting for them. In fact, I'm saying something different. What I'm saying is that the investigation should be fearless, not keeping in mind the personalities concerned. And let me tell Mr. Sanjay Jha that the Supreme Court only decided whether there should be a CBI investigation or not. The trial is now taking place. The investigating officer can always look into the allegations or the revelations made by the CAG, who happens to be a constitutional authority holder in the past, and if needed, then an additional charge sheet can be filed.
You are
As
telling
for
me some long
Colgate,
legal process.
The investigating
Yeah.
officer can
Yeah.
do the same.
It's a
These
long legal
revelations
process
are
that you
very
are saying. No,
serious in
no,
nature.
Gaurav Bhatia, this is
And-
a political debate. This is a political debate.
It is a political issue,
It's a
Arnav.
political
It is
issue. It's a
with 10
political
Janpath.
debate.
Ultimately,
Simply we have to say that.
My question
It is a political issue, DMK versus Congress. 2G is a DMK versus Congress. It is a political issue.
more
It
serious
is Sonia
than a
Gandhi
political
versus
debate,
Karunanidhi,
Arnav.
Sonia Gandhi
It is
versus A. Raja.
Mr. Vinod Rai is perceived to be a very clean and a good person and an honest
It is far
person,
more
which I
serious
totally
than a
agree
political
with.
debate.
But unfortunately, by making these charges at such a belated stage, he has put a question mark on the veracity, on the honesty of these charges. I
Really?
mean, Mr. Rai was in a position. Mr. Rai,
people think like that.
Mr. Rai was in a position
Sir,
to
you-
disclose all this then.
Yeah, so you know-
and he could have acted. He was accountable to the parliament of this country, not to the studios of Time Now and Mr. Arnab Goswami.
No, you don't
He should
have-
Why
made
he
these
did not appear
revelations
before
to the
Parliament then? Rahul, he should have appeared before JPC. Whatever you are depending now, Dr. Manmohan Singh and P. Chidambaram should have appeared before
No, but
JPC and
point
cleared
is-
their name.
One
But
minute.
who decides that? Who
Gentlemen,
decides that?
gentlemen,
Do you
yeah,
sitting
JPC
in-
decides
do
that.
you- do you
JPC.
sitting in the studio
It is
decide
Congress
that?
who stonewalled
Or does the
that.
Parliament and the committee decide?
No, let me ask
It
you.
is Congress which stonewalled that.
Since you believe Vinod Rai so deeply and intently,
No, Arnav.
why don't you ask, why don't you find
Arnav.
out, why don't you ask the current Prime Minister of the CAG allegations against the Gujarat government
Sidetracking.
reaching an
Sanjay, don't go
astronomical
there.
15,000
Sanjay, don't
crores?
go.
Let's discuss
Come back to that
Please ask
interview
Mr.
what
Akbar that
Arnab had
question.
with Vinod Rai.
Since everybody thinks that
Okay,
Mr.
now-
Vinod Rai
now
is a personification of virtues, then let us question every little thing.
24 minutes past 9 o'clock this evening. Gaurav Bhatia is coming to the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who want to tweet on which side is winning the debate, the
Arnab.
pro-Congress or the pro-BJP side, the Twitter hashtag is Vinod Speaks to Arnab. Gaurav Bhatia, yes please.
Arnab.
Yeah, Gaurav Bhatia.
Arnab, I read in the interview and I heard it. It said that they were compulsions of politics.
Yeah.
Compulsions of politics could be distribution of portfolios, but compulsions of politics could never be to commit an illegality, to do a criminal task. That cannot be compulsion of politics.
Exactly what I'm
and the
saying.
day it
No, it's
happened,
not.
I
That
think the
is the
best thing
compulsion
for
of
any
politics
Prime
in
Minister
India.
would be to let that
fall
government
prey
go
to that, you're
rather than
equally
do
involved.
criminal acts.
1 minute,
Now
no
these
side
allegations are very serious in nature, and if any aspersions are casted upon a person who holds the highest office in the country, he should come forward and explain to the country at least that no, these allegations are wrong. And I think that would inspire confidence, which has been completely missing in the case of the
Suppose
previous government.
Akhilesh is
And I
accused
think if
of
they
a
are
large
so
amount
pleased,
of
they
corruption
should
and
come
5 big
forward and
scams
explain.
break out in the Akhilesh government, and then somebody says, you know, Mulayam, they had no idea about it. Poor Mulayam. And terrible Akhilesh. Who's going to buy that Gaurabhati? Now it's a
when he
political
spoke on
question.
principle-
I think MJ Akbar, we started by making one point.
Arnab, let
Who
me
is the
answer
puppet
that.
and who is the puppeteer?
Let
No,
me
one
Let me
second.
answer that.
Who is the
Supreme Court is already investigating.
Let me
the
answer
cases.
that.
The CBI is already following up.
One
The
second.
guilty will be punished.
Arnab,
So why
let
are
me
we trying
answer
to
that.
prejudge issues
Why are
here?
you getting nervous?
No, I'm not. Mr. A. Raja went to
Who's
jail.
prejudging?
Mr. A. Raja went to jail.
And he should be the
Corporate
first and last
CEOs
person who went to
corporate
jail.
CEOs from India's most high
Are you scared that
telecom
others will have to
companies
go
went
to jail?
So why are we doubting?
Are you
the
scared that
process
others
of
will have to go to
investigation? Are we doubting a Supreme Court monitored CBI investigation?
Are you doubting that others may have to go to jail?
Let anybody who's done anything wrong.
Are you
go to
worried
jail.
that if the entire
Let somebody
delegate-
from the BJP who's made a lot of money on the sly on the coal allocation go to jail?
Name the
Let
person.
somebody from any party go to jail. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so now-
let truth prevail. We are in favor of it.
Okay, so the
But
truth-
right now, to presuppose that just because BJP holds a press conference
Mr. Jha-
and as usual tries to make political capital out of a book written by an ex-CAG chief who chose to remain
Mr. Jha-
remarkably silent many years
Mr.
ago,
Jha,
raises
brevity-
very serious questions.
Brevity is the soul of wit and at the heart of logic. Please be brief. Now the core issue is this, MJ Akbar, that who is the puppet and who is the puppeteer? Simple. Till now we are not addressing the main issue.
Arnab, can I
Absolutely.
just
One
make
second, I want to
quick
get
point?
MJ Akbar into the debate. He's been remarkably
Arnab.
quiet. 1 second, Mr. Akbar, yes please.
Well, I hope not remarkably. I hope as usually quiet. Arnab, I was just thinking during this course of your great repetitive Mr. Jha's, I mean, he's fulsome in his tirades. But I was thinking
I
that
choose to be
when
unusually
Dr.
open
Manmohan
most of
Singh
the time.
writes his book, he should probably use the title, not Crime and Punishment, but Crime and Nourishment. Because there have been a
Please,
decade
for
of
God's
crime
sake,
and a
improve
huge
your
amount
sense
of
of humor,
nourishment.
Mr. Akbar.
Let him go on,
Which has
please.
been going on. Well, the other thing which struck me is that everybody seems to think that Mr. Vinod Rai has made these exposures after the defeat of the Congress. No, Mr. Vinod Rai was there as CAG and he made his revelations when the UPA was at the height of its power. You remember that. So nobody can accuse Mr. Vinod Rai of not having integrity and
Let him
not
complete,
being
let him
honest and having the courage to make his point. And if you remember, at that time the Congress flipped and the Congress flopped when they made that dramatic assertion that it was zero loss to the exchequer. Do you remember that? Now I think memories tend to be very convenient. They tried every single trick in the book to avoid accusations, but all of it failed. The people were simply not going to buy a litany of lies. And if they were not going to buy it then, I'm afraid they are certainly not going to buy it now.
Which explains the 7 things the Congress cannot explain tonight. I mean, I can ask 7 things to Sanjay Jha
Go ahead.
and he'll have not a single answer.
Go ahead.
There are 7 things the Congress party has not explained, and I will go through them one by one, ladies and gentlemen, since Sanjay Jha is trying to put up such a brave face today. 7 things they don't explain. Fact number 1, have they explained, Mr. Gandhi, whether the Prime Minister just made a so-called error of judgment? I mean, even when a journalist in a controversial circumstances talks about an error of judgment, we find it laughable. Whether the Prime Minister made just an error of judgment or an act of commission greater than just an error. Have they explained that?
The claim
Have
is,
they explained that?
The claim is that there is a Dhritarashtra we had around
Who's
here.
Dhritarashtra.
I mean, and that's the tragedy of this.
Yes.
Also, people are doubting
No, but-
Vinod Rai's credibility.
Yeah.
I want to quote from a judgment of the Ontario court
Yes.
in Canada, which says on May 15, 2007, Karigar and someone else met with Annie Dubé at the Consul General for Canada, Mumbai. During the meeting, Mr. Karigar stated that a company, Cryptomerix, had paid a bribe to Praful Patel. This is in a judgment in Canada, in Ontario, and based on this, Mr. Karigar was sentenced to prison. In India, we are not even talking about it. And everybody says Air India, if Vinod Rai talks about, he's talking nonsense.
Let him complete, please. Are you going to censor him because he's talking about your party senior, please?
No, he's
Go ahead, please.
I'm only trying to highlight the law as it prevails in India. Something which is recorded in a foreign judgment does not become a fact in this country.
We are not investigating
in this country, the laws of this country prevail. In this country, facts which are disclosed by the investigating agency
Why are you getting worked up?
This country prevail.
Why are you getting
not
worked up?
Not something that happens in Canada.
Mr. Karigar has admitted.
Why are you getting worked up?
Who is Mr. Karigar? Has he been investigated by the investigating agencies of India?
Prison because of this.
And what is the veracity of the evidence that was led in Canada?
Fine.
I mean, let's not make some irrational charges just because you've got some airtime on national television.
One second. What about did Praful Patel have a role or not in aircraft acquisition? Sir, please be clear with me. Stop
having put
throwing
this
your
question,
temper and
give me half a minute to answer.
No, 1 second. Did you
have the courage to take the answer?
Please don't doubt courage.
If you have the courage to take the answer, allow me half a minute to answer.
I'm sitting 5 feet away from
Number
you. Why are you getting
one,
worked
Mr.
up?
Praful Patel took no decision in his individual capacity.
Oh, really?
The decisions were taken by a board which constituted a number of members,
are you
not
making
just
a speech?
Mr. Praful Patel. It was a collective decision taken by the board of Air India.
Sir, are you?
Therefore,
if there was nothing to hide, sir, you have to stop at that point.
Your TRPs by accusing some personality. But that's not the truth.
Sir, I tell you, sir, 1 second. I think that you flatter yourself, sir. You flatter yourself into believing that I need you or Praful Patel to increase my TRPs. The fact of the matter...
Arnab.
1 second. I like it when politicians get carried away with their own arguments.
I can understand when Mr.
My question tonight,
Swamy doesn't have an answer. He breaks out laughing. I can understand that, and so can your viewers.
The question which is asked by Shailesh and which has been asked by me, which Rahul Narvekar pitiably you have no answer for today. I empathize.
I just gave you the answer.
You see, this luxury I don't provide on the Newshour when you answer your own questions.
You tell me, you reply to what I've said. Can you give me a single judgment, order or indictment where it says that Mr. Praful Patel was individually responsible for all the decisions that the Air India board took? Please answer.
So if there was nothing to hide.
Please answer. No, you answer my question.
If there was nothing to hide.
You answer my question. Don't digress from the topic. Don't try and change the topic. You please answer my question. Show me a single judgment. Show me a single judgment that says Mr. Praful Patel was individually involved in it.
Mr. Rajagopalan, why
if he was in Shiv Sena, he would have spoken different.
Getting so worked up today on a simple question put to him by Shailesh Gandhi.
There is no question of getting worked up. I'm just amused at the way you try to hype things and make a mountain out of mole where the individual is not even.
If Rahul was in Shiv Sena, he would have asked different questions to Praful Patel. Since he is with NCP, he is having a different question.
Calm down. Rahul Narvekar, I know that you have to prove your loyalties and
I don't need to.
You have to prove your efficiency as a member of
Shiv Sena, his question
now, Mr. Narvekar, if he wants to answer my question, he should. Or Rahul Narvekar should say clearly on the Newshour tonight, I will not answer your question. And the question is this:
I am here to answer whatever question you put to me.
When the CAG report was out in the year 2011, Praful Patel tried to defend himself by saying that he took the decision, quote unquote, to make the airline commercially viable. Now, please explain to us, Mr. Rahul Narvekar, what mathematics, which school of mathematics was Praful Patel using, spending 38,000 crore rupees, 38,000 crore rupees at a time when the airline was neck deep in financial woes. And that is an attempt, spending extra money is an attempt to save the situation, that to save a airline that is becoming commercially unviable, you spend $5 billion of taxpayer money. Sir, come on.
Well, Mr.
Answer that question. I know my name. Answer my question.
Yeah. Well, Mr.
Answer my question.
Number one.
Answer my question.
I am not an expert on civil
he's not an
aviation,
expert now.
Civil aviation
Now he's not
economy.
the expert. Challenge
Number
that.
two, I am not a member of the Air India board,
he's
nor
not.
was
Now-
I the member of the Air India
That's
board.
called backing off. That's called backing off.
When a legally constituted board
That's
takes a
called-
decision, that decision certainly is in the interest of the entity and organization.
I think
if you have reasons to believe otherwise, instead of casting aspersions,
Say, nobody
come
said-
out clean and make clean allegations.
There's an allegation
Can you do that?
Vinod Rai has
Do you
made
have a
allegations.
do you have a single charge that has been proved against any of the board members,
1 second,
including
please.
Mr. Praful Patel?
Arnab,
Vinod
No,
Rai
1 second,
has
he's
made a
replying.
charge,
Arnab,
Calm down, calm down.
and I think citizens
Arnab.
or people watching this will hardly believe the political story that there was been no corruption and people are pure as milk.
See, the problem-
One second, Mr. Badekar, please.
But I'm also raising another issue. Why is the BJP government not investigating these? As a citizen, I feel that maybe it's everybody is a crook, so they say we'll save everybody.
Mr. Gandhi has raised a pertinent point. I want to say this on, Arnab, to
Arnab.
all the viewers of Newshour. If the Bharatiya Janata Party today, they're in the central government.
They should.
If Mr.
Glass of
MJ
water,
Akbar here is so self-righteous, Mr. Akbar, instead of wasting your time on Newshour, please go and tell the Prime Minister, whose 30% of cabinet is full of people with criminal allegations, to kindly give us the Achhe Din we are looking for. Please investigate coal. Please investigate 2G.
Arnab,
Please
come back to the
investigate-
discussion. Arnab,
please
come back to the
investigate
discussion.
Babulal Bukharia
Arnab,
in
who is
Gujarat.
puppet? Who is
Please
puppeteer? You ask them.
investigate capitalism
Sanjay
in
Shah,
Gujarat.
reply that.
I take
My open
objection.
request to you,
I
please
take
put people in
I
jail.
take objection to your saying MJ Akbar is wasting his time on the Newshour. In
No,
that
nobody is
case,
wasting the
in
time
that
on
case,
Newshour.
you are
If we
wasting
can
your
say
time.
corruption,
You're
we
wasting your time on the Newshour, and I'm wasting my time on the Newshour as well. I object to that. Yes, please. MJ Akbar will respond now.
My sincere apologies.
Thank you
Arnab.
very much. The Congress has to
Yes, I will
apologize for a
indeed,
lot of things
Arnab.
tonight. Yeah, MJ Akbar.
Indeed, and in fact, if you want to know why in all the opinion polls that are coming out show that the Congress vote is slipping even further from the general election date,
doesn't
I
answer
think
the
you must
question.
probably
That doesn't answer the question.
Let him.
to the interlocutors. To the interlocutors you have on Newshour, you have certainly playing a very significant role, I must say.
Thank you
As
very
for
much.
the investigation,
Thank you very much. I'm flattered.
you might rest assured
Crime
that
and
the
malnourishment
BJP government
by
is
MJ Akbar.
doing whatever is required in investigation. It is doing its required investigation into National Herald case.
Sure.
It
We are
is doing
seeing-
whatever
we are
investigation
seeing how you're
is
keeping the
necessary.
1 minute.
Megwal in
In the
Mr. Modi's
Vadra
cabinet.
land
We are
deals,
seeing how you're
in the
keeping
Vadra
Sanjeev Kalyan
land
in
deals
Mr.
in
Modi's
Haryana.
cabinet. We are
It
seeing
will
how you're
do
giving
whatever
Sanjeev
Let him, let him, let him, let him.
required in
Governance,
all-
my left foot.
in
Governance,
all
my left foot.
the muck and the murk that has been going on.
Governance,
and
my
the,
left
the
foot,
Prime
Mr.
Minister
MJ
has
Akbar.
said it
You
very
can't fool the country
clearly.
for too long.
He is not going to be corrupt. He will not allow anyone to be corrupt. And by the codicil to that is that he will not allow the corrupt to get away.
Then please tell us the story behind the rumors of a home minister
Arnab.
and his son that
1
apparently
second,
made the
please.
media get very worried that corruption had already reached the
Arnab,
Bharatiya Janata
Gaurav,
Party.
I'm going
Arnab,
back to
Sanjay
Gaurav.
Jha is going elsewhere, Arnab.
I'm going back to
Let him
Gaurav.
come back to the
I'm not-
discussion.
But
Who
we
is
will
the puppet?
fight
Who is the
any attempt
puppeteer?
to misuse the media to
Mr.
spread
Sanjay
false
Jha, you must
propaganda.
answer that.
Mr. Gopalan, we
Sanjay
will
Jha,
not
you
allow
must
to
answer
fool
that.
the people of
Mr.
country.
Jha,
No.
Mr. Jha,
Jha, you
please.
answer that.
Please
We will not
come.
allow the Bharatiya Janata
And
Party to
I will
be
not
self-righteous,
I will not allow
to
you
indulge in propaganda.
and I will not allow you to just go on and on and on and on and on and run over the entire show and not let anyone else
I'm
speak.
inspired by you,
Now,
Arnab.
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, the point to you is this. Has the Congress party explained what was going on with the government? I mean, today they say the Prime Minister made mistakes. Is that enough to say Prime Minister made mistakes and did not know? I mean, of 10 years and 7 scams later, you say, yes, we realize now Prime Minister made mistakes. Is that going to be enough, Mr. Bhatia?
Arnab, absolutely not. It's not enough. And the reason is this, that when a person who holds the highest office in the country and his integrity and decision-making process is doubted, They need to come clean and they need to show to the nation that whatever decisions were taken by the Prime Minister then were in the interest of the nation. The process that they undertook was transparent and non-arbitrary. That has not happened when there was a UPA government. At least now it's still not too late. They should come forward and they should explain. Rather, they should counsel
1 minute.
the allegations
We are
that have
not
been
in
made by
government. Let
Mr.
the
Vinod
BJP
Rai.
government investigate it.
Mr. Jha.
Mr.
Jha, please.
You won't believe it.
Mr. Jha, please. Mr. Jha, please. No, Mr. Jha, I don't let you.
The BJP...
But let me come back.
No, please, let him come.
The BJP also, one of the panelists said, is not probing the matter. It would not do so, Arnab, because we are forgetting the chief ministers of the BJP ruled states also made recommendations to favor certain business persons. And that is why they would also not want a fair investigation. The need of the hour is that the CBI should be independent. They should probe without fear or favor. And we need a Lokpal, which the BJP is not delivering on. So it is high time that we have our institutions in place.
No,
And
so simple.
Half the BJP cabinet will be in jail if the Lokpal is independent.
No, 1 minute. Now we are on a very serious point then. Then we are on a point that we were told during the election, Mr. MJ Akbar. Now it's a serious issue. We were told in the election, as you say, we will not be corrupt, we will not let anybody be corrupt. Did you say that we'll only talk about the future, that if it so emerges that the entire act of corruption was carried out with complicity at a completely different level than what the prosecuting agencies had revealed, and if fresh evidence comes up, and if there are new people who give out new testimonies, such as Mr. Vinod Rai himself, a man who you admit is a man of some high credibility, that did you tell the people of this country, Mr. Akbar and Mr. Rajagopalan too, since you're backing the BJP, did you say, no, we are not going to get into all that because it will get messy and some BJP people's names may also come up. We don't want to look into that. We look into the future. Scams be damned. The past be forgotten. The monies be made. And if required, the principal conspirators be allowed to get away because that was only an instrument. The scams were only an issue to latch on to help us get votes. Mr. MJ Akbar, unless you use corruption as an electoral issue, you will have to do more than what you are doing now. You'll have to bite the bullet, walk the talk,
I agree.
which you are not doing so far.
Arnab, I agree. No, the past will not be forgotten. And
so what will be done?
Wherever justice may lead. Yes, it will be done. Justice will be done. As far as the Lokpal is concerned, this government is only one parliament session old. It was a budget session. Already moves have been made towards that.
Sir,
already SIT has been instituted and so on. And I can assure you, Arnab, you have every right. You have every right as a journalist to raise the question.
You have lied to the people in India on the independence of
1 minute, please. Let him complete.
Can I counter Mr. Akbar, please?
I can assure you that no investigation will be left incomplete, and whoever is guilty.
No. Be specific. Whoever.
He sounds.
Whoever will guilty. Are you going to open up the airport acquisition scam? Are you going to open up the 2G scam? Are you going to open up the Colgate scam? Are you going to find out how an unaccountable structure not responsible to Parliament was given the responsibility of spending 70,000 crores of taxpayer money on CWG? Sir!
Are you going to investigate the Vyapam scam in Madhya Pradesh?
What will you do?
There are many in Chhattisgarh, many in Gujarat.
What are you going to do? Make a commitment tonight.
The public domain.
But then they made Yadurappa the vice president.
They are in the public domain.
Sure 1 second, please. I'm asking him. Let him reply.
No, how can you expect anti-corruption from BJP? Yadurappa is a BJP
Sir,
vice president.
can I ask the questions or have you completely taken over tonight? Yes, MJ Akbar, please. What are you going to do? Not how you are going to react.
I assure you, Arnab. I assure you that.
No, but you're not the
1 minute, Mr. Jha. Mr. Jha, I will have to take disciplinary action against you now if you don't stop. Yes. It's just that I'm in a good mood. It's a Friday evening. Otherwise, I would have taken disciplinary action so far. Yes, MJ. I give the Interrupter of the Year award to Sanjay Jha. I mean, Mr. Jha. It's yours. It's yours. You take it.
Which means I'm following in your footsteps remarkably well.
Yes, and I since I'm on a lighter note, you win the award and I'm the runners-up. Yes. Now, but I do it as part of my profession. You do it out of a terrible choice. Yes, MJ Akbar, what are you going to do, please? What are you going to do besides saying, I assure you, I assure you?
Every single instance where there is suspicion of public money and public trust having been betrayed must be investigated, totally. Investigations take time.
This is the same story we've heard for so many years.
I can assure you that under this Prime Minister,
from the BJP,
Prime Minister, there will be no tolerance for corruption either in the past or in the
Mr.
present.
Akbar, let me assure you, you go down the same road as Congress, you will go the same way as the Congress has gone. Citizens are not fools any longer in this nation. And let me share with you the picture that most citizens have of corruption.
To what people are expecting more out of the Modi government, to what Mr. Akbar says. He says, I assure you tonight, Gaurav Bhatia is responding.
Right. Arnab, can I just count?
Go ahead.
Arnab, Mr. MJ Akbar is not right when he says that the Lokpal has not been appointed because there has been only one parliamentary session. There is a different process for selection of Lokpal. And if the BJP was that serious, I think even 15 days time was enough to appoint a Lokpal, because the parliamentary session has got nothing to do with the appointment of Lokpal. The selection committee has to do it. But the BJP has clearly shown that it is not serious about their agenda of fighting against corruption, and that is why I am saying that the worrisome part is that the BJP leaders who are also involved in this Colgate scam, whether they would also be investigated and they would be booked as the other leaders would be.
I haven't heard that. It seems to me right now the BJP is very happy with letting the old prosecution notes take over the court. But if they want to, they can change that. They're not doing this. Is exactly, Mr. Rajagopalan, what you used to come and say. The entire prosecution evidence is rubbish.
Wait and see.
You used to say when the
It's
BJP
only 30
comes to
days,
power, there will be fresh
only 3 months old government. You wait and see, watch.
Mr.
You wait and watch what is going to happen. Your interview with Mr. Vinod Rai has created a great amount of differences in the Congress, family versus the party. I know that in the days to come, in the winter session of Parliament, the Congress is going to be dumped further. And you wait and see. There will be a privilege motion against Dr. Manmohan Singh in Rajya Sabha.
So one
by
second.
TDP, by ADMK, by Congress, by BJP. You wait and see that in the winter session of Parliament,
in Nagpur.
in the winter session of Parliament, on Colgate, on 2G, there will be a privilege motion against Dr. Manmohan Singh, who is the only one MP now. That is going to happen. Let us talk politics.
Okay.
Let us talk politics, Arnab. Who is the puppet and who is the puppeteer? The Vinod Rai interview has further cleavaged that, further differentiated that. Congress is now riddled with problems.
Sir, I have Mr. Jha, I gave you the award. Now, please, you have got the award. Now, what do you want to break out your own record?
I want a ceremony for the award as well.
Don't convert this Newshour as ceremony.
Okay.
You should allow me to speak.
Last point by Shailesh Gandhi, and then we are closing.
I would like all the politicians on this panel to understand that people are sick of corruption. And when you talk of corruption, it means snatching the morsel from the poorest 6-year-old girl in this nation. We are sick of it. And we will not
and you promised to open up these things.
And we will not allow anyone, whether it's BJP or Congress, it's irrelevant.
Or even if it's Manmohan Singh.
Irrespective of whichever party.
And today, if the BJP thinks it has been...
to add something to what he said right now. Yes, we need to act against corruption, but not perceived corruption, established corruption. Don't get after someone just because there are vague allegations.
You believe there is no corruption in India?
If there is a serious charge which is established, yes, we should crucify the person.
Our system is incapable of doing that.
But just by making wild allegations, don't tarnish the image of someone till he's actually pronounced guilty.
Don't
do that.
Criminal investigation system is incapable of taking on a powerful
person. It takes a lifetime in public domain to create a reputation.
Have you finished your speech?
It takes just a couple of these allegations to destroy it.
Okay.
Don't do that.
One minute. Since Rahul Narvekar made a little speech. No, since Rahul Narvekar made a little speech, I'm going to share something with him. 1 minute. I have a piece of paper to give Rahul Narvekar. Have a look at this, please. Have a look at this.
Let him read it out also. What is the secret note?
I'm showing him a piece of paper. That's from the CAG.
No, let him read it out.
One minute, please. 1 minute. I've shown him a piece of paper.
What does this say?
Hold it up.
What does this say?
Hold it up.
How does it help?
No, I'll tell you what. You know what this is about. You know what this is about? You know that, no? It's from the CAG report on plane acquisition. Oh, you know what that paper proves? Hold it up. It proves
I think people know
it proves that the proposal for 68 planes being bought, as contrary to 28 planes, came from Air India. You're right. But only after a certain minister asked them to revisit their proposal for the acquisition of 28 planes. Have a look at that.
Revisit does not mean reapprove.
Mr. Arnab Goswami.
Have a look at that.
Mr.
Have a look
Arnab
at that.
Goswami.
No, I'm making a fact. Don't be so much on the back.
Are you done? Are you done? Can I answer your question?
Is it true or not? True or not?
Can I answer your question?
True or not?
Can you show me any document of the CAG or any other investigating
So was
body which says that this decision was of an individual or it was taken at the behest of some consideration?
Can you tell me where the decision taken? Was the decision taken?
Can you tell me? You are making allegations against an individual, a serious allegations of corruption. Is there anything to that effect mentioned?
I'm saying here that Vinod Rai.
Anything to that effect mentioned?
What I'm saying, Vinod Rai.
The problem is,
Mr. Again,
success has many takers. If there is a great success story, when airports were made, brilliant airports were made in the country, no one gave credit for that to Mr. Praful Patel. But suppose something goes wrong with an acquisition, which was a decision of the entire board, you accuse one individual.
Rahul Narvekar, the matter is in the public domain. Not all of what Vinod Rai says is rubbish. And we need to ask ourselves tonight, was Manmohan Singh the puppeteer or was he the puppet? If he was the puppet, who was his puppeteer? Who was there? Who was Manmohan
Everyone knows
Singh's
it, Arnab. Everyone knows it.
There's no puppet.
Everyone knows it. Sanjay also knows it.
And that's it on the Newshour tonight. Thank you very much for joining me on debate number 1.